Hello, hi, a very happy good evening. So this is Krishnaveni and we've been talking about the story of life on earth, and that's biology. Yes, welcome to my lecture. Anusha, yes, a very happy good evening. So thank you for joining my lecture today. So I guess you're new to my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. Yes, so all those who are here for my lecture today, so wishing you in abundance of gratitude. So thank you so much for joining my lecture today. So please do like, share and subscribe. So here we are starting the most interesting and the most important chapter of class 11, that is human physiology. So we are starting with the first chapter in human physiology, that is digestion and absorption. For all those who are looking at this chapter for the first time, so here please pay attention. So here we are talking about the most interesting chapters in biology, that is human physiology. Yes, Srinivas, hello, hi. So thank you for joining my lecture today. So please do like, share and subscribe. Okay, so shall we move forward with digestion and absorption? Yes, so now we are going to have a set of series of interesting lectures. So in class 12, we are talking about molecular basis of inheritance. In class 11, we are talking about human physiology. So once again, for all those who are new to my channel or to my lecture, so this is how my schedule goes. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I teach a class 12 chapter at 4 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I teach a class 11 chapter at 4 p.m. Alright, and sometimes Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday evening at 6:30 we play a Menti quiz. Okay, so this is my schedule. Alright, so without any further delay, so we will move forward talking about your digestion and absorption, the most interesting chapter and the chapter with the highest weightage, the second highest weightage. So here we move forward. So before we go and talk about digestion and absorption, so I have an announcement. So today we have Guess the Chapter Menti quiz. It is season 1 and episode 9. So please join me for this Menti quiz, and this is at 6:30 p.m. So this is at 6:30 p.m. So please join me for the same. Yes. So please guess the chapter. So please revise the chapter. So go through the syllabus, go through the NCERT. So that's more than enough. Yes. Okay. Yes. So lecture 1 of digestion and absorption. So let me tell you. So you have 7 chapters in human physiology, starting from digestion and absorption. Okay. Questions, today it's mostly theory. Towards the end is where we'll solve questions. So today I guess you have only one question at the end because I have to cover up the lecture as well. Anyways, thank you Ranjan for joining my lecture today. So please do like, share and subscribe. Hi Dani, yes, a very happy good evening. Hi Anthony, hi Satyendra, yes, a very happy good evening. So thank you for joining my lecture today. So please do like, share and subscribe. So hi Keshav, yes, so Keshav says it's raining in my place. Okay, fine. Yes, Keshav, so thank you so much for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. Yes, Anthony, finally it's your lecture. So you have been asking me for a long time, ma'am, please explain the enzymes. I'm sorry, I couldn't find time. So here you are, so pay attention. Okay, so Dharni says it's raining. Okay, well in Kota it's pretty hot. So it's really hot here. Guys, come on, please do like, share and subscribe the session. Come on, quick. Okay, so yes, so as I was saying, we have 7 chapters in human physiology. So the first chapter is digestion and absorption. The highest weightage of the chapter lies in your chemical coordination and absorption. Okay, sorry, chemical coordination and integration. That is the last chapter which talks about your hormones. Okay, so that chapter has the highest weightage of 4%. Next you have digestion and absorption. So this chapter has a weightage of 3%. So you can expect 3 to 4 questions from this chapter. Okay, yes Ranjan, so today mostly we'll have lecture because I want to explain certain things once again. Okay, yes Shimpi, hello, hi, a very happy good evening. Thank you so much for joining my lecture. Yes, I'm good. Come on guys, please do like the session, please do share and subscribe. Okay, so let's see what digestion and absorption has to tell us. So what are the things that we're going to talk about? So we are going to talk about your digestive system. So the entire process starting from your mouth to your anus. So then we're going to see how the digestion of food happens. So firstly, we'll see the path transfers by your food. Then we will see how or who helps in the process of digestion. Then absorption of digested food. Okay, so these are the 3 things, followed by digestive disorders. So these are the 4 main topics that we will discuss in this lecture. So let's start with the digestive system today. Okay. Yes, so the digestive system, so it's not new to you. So our digestive system starts from your mouth and ends in the anus. So you have your alimentary canal which performs your digestive function, right? So can you quickly tell me the passage of your food? Yes, all those who are watching my lecture, can you quickly tell me the passage of food, from where it starts and how it transverses? So it starts from your mouth, no doubt. Yes, then it moves into your buccal cavity. So then you have your pharynx, then you have esophagus. So from esophagus it moves into stomach, stomach into small intestine, then large intestine, and finally you have your anus, right? So this is the general pathway that it takes. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. So Arun Balaji, yes, welcome to my lecture. So thank you for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. So moving further, so let's talk about your alimentary canal. So alimentary canal, so AC is the short form for alimentary canal. It's a tubular canal that extends from the mouth to the anus. So that is where your food actually moves through. So it develops from the ectoderm and the endoderm region of your embryo. So at the time of embryonic development, just after implantation, right after implantation, you have this gastrulation stage which develops or differentiates into 3 embryonic layers: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, right? So from the ectoderm and endoderm portion arises your alimentary canal, okay? So your alimentary canal is divided into the following parts: the mouth, which is mentioned as the oral or the buccal cavity. So then you have the esophagus, which is your food pipe. Then moving further, you have your stomach, your muscular bag. Then intestine, you have your small intestine as well as your large intestine. So remember, majority of digestion or the large portion of digestion takes place in your small intestine. Okay, so this is the structure which starts from your mouth. Yes, so mouth has your saliva, yes, and followed by your salivary glands. So they make up your buccal cavity. So then you have your esophagus, you have your stomach, then you have your small intestine. So this is your small intestine. Then you have your large intestine. Then you finally have your anus. Yes, our endocrine system, from 3 of them. Okay. So hold on, endocrine system will not come because endocrine basically talks about organs which can secrete or glands which can secrete this. So if you say our endocrine system, that talks about all the 9 endocrine system. So each one is from each of them. So I cannot generally say it is from one of the layer. So endocrine system has 9 endocrine systems. We have 9 glands which produces hormones, right? So that is very, very specific. I cannot say it generally. Okay, Anthony? Yes? Okay, so moving forward, so your alimentary canals opens anteriorly into mouth and posteriorly into anus. So anteriorly is in the front and posteriorly is at the bottom. So in the front you have the mouth, or in the top portion you have the mouth, and posteriorly it opens into the anus. So the mouth opens into buccal or the oral cavity. So buccal or oral cavity consists of your teeth and your muscular tongue, right? Yes, so this is present in your buccal or your oral cavity. So now we are talking about the teeth, the development of your teeth. If generally the ask means can I answer ecto, endo and mesoderm? No, it differs. It depends on the options, what options they have given. If there is a specific question like this, so please send me in Telegram. I will let you know the correct answer. So please send me with the options. Okay, Anthony? Yes, so talking about the teeth, so the singular one is known as tooth, okay. Will these lectures be sufficient for NEET biology? So these lectures are just your aids or your helping hand. The more you read your NCERT, the more clearer it is. So I would say please read NCERT, that is your primary aim. So when reading your NCERT, keep my lectures side by. Maybe you can have pictures, you can have some explanations which are there in the slides which might help you to understand your NCERT concept. Okay, Arun Balaji. So I will not say don't read my lectures alone. So please don't do that. So please read your NCERT textbook followed by my lectures. So each individual has to read NCERT book, irrespective of wherever you study from. So that is like your Bible. Okay? Yes? Okay, you're only asking. Yes, even I'll explain it to you in detail. Okay? Yes? Fine. So the plural term is teeth and the singular term is tooth. Okay? So the tooth is embedded in a socket of jawbone, that is thecodont. Okay? So your tooth is not hanging in mid-hair. Each tooth has a particular place inside your mouth, right? It's properly embedded in a particular place. Just like the key has a particular place in the lock, your tooth is embedded in a particular socket. So this type of arrangement of your tooth is known as thecodont arrangement. So don't, everywhere the term don't comes, it means dentition. It is where your teeth is located. So don't refers to teeth. So this type of arrangement of your tooth is known as thecodont, right? So what are the parts of your teeth? So crown, neck and root. Okay? So the crown is the outer part of the tooth that is exposed outside the gums. Then neck, the middle part of the tooth that is embedded inside the gums. The third one is your root, the part of the tooth that is inserted inside the socket of jawbone. So this is the structure of your tooth. So this is your crown, the one that is visible to you. So this is your crown. Okay. Then this is your neck region. So this portion is your neck region. Then you have your root region. Okay. So if you can see, your crown is covered by a thick substance that is known as enamel. So this is the hardest substance in your body. So this you should remember. So now moving forward, mammals including human beings forms two sets of teeth during their life. Yes, so when you were born, when you were growing up, so you had a set of teeth known as milk teeth. Then slowly the milk teeth fell and then you had a new set of teeth, that is your permanent teeth, right? Okay, so we had two sets of teeth during our lifetime. So one is temporary milk or deciduous teeth, the other one is your permanent or your adult teeth. So when you were born, so the teeth that arises is called as milk teeth. Since that is not going to remain forever, it is known as a temporary milk teeth, and the one that you get later in your life is your permanent or your adult teeth. Yes, so this type of arrangement, this type of how we get two sets of teeth in our lifetime, so this arrangement is known as diffeodont. So two times we are getting some teeth, right? So this is known as diffeodont, two sets of teeth in our lifetime. Okay, yes, so the adult human has 32 permanent teeth and we have 4 types of teeth. So 32 is the total number, but all the teeth are not of the same type. Each one is of the different type. Okay. So well, don't start counting your teeth. It's okay. I will tell you what are the different types of teeth you have. So first you should know what is thecodont arrangement. Next you should know what is diffeodont arrangement. You should also know the adult human has 32 permanent teeth and we have 4 types. Okay. Yes, Vishal, a very happy good evening. Yes, sir, a very happy good evening. So thank you for joining my lecture today. So please do like, share and subscribe. Okay, let's see what are the 4 types of teeth. Since we have 4 different types of teeth, this arrangement is your heterodont. So how many arrangements have I taught you so long? Yes, the first arrangement you should remember is thecodont. This is when your tooth is embedded in your jaw socket. This is thecodont. So number 2, this is diffeodont, you should remember. So we have 2 sets of teeth in our life cycle. So this is diffeodont and we have 4 types of teeth. So it is heterodont. Okay, now what are the different types of teeth that we have? So first one is incisors, then you have canines, then you have premolars and molars. So incisors is always represented by I, canine is always represented by C, premolars is PM and molars is M. Okay, yes, fine. So monophodont is teeth appear only once in the lifetime. Okay, so all the teeth does not appear twice in your lifetime. Yes, I agree. You all have your milk teeth, you have your temporary set of teeth, and then those teeth fall and you have your permanent teeth. But we have 4 types of teeth, right? Incisors, canines, premolars and molars. So all these 4 do not replace or do not regrow twice. Okay, so your premolars and the last of the molar, they appear only once. They do not appear in the milk teeth phase. Okay, so this type of arrangement where tooth teeth which appears only once in your lifetime, it is known as monophodont. Mono is 1. It appears only once in your lifetime. So that is your premolars and the last of your molars. So what is the 4th arrangement I have taught you? Monophodont. Okay, yes, this is how it is. Yes, yes, Ranjan, you're right. Yes, Swami, a very happy good evening. So thank you for joining my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. Child mein absent hota, yes. So child mein what is absent? The last molars and the premolars are absent. Yes, you're right. Okay. So this is how it is. So towards the end that you have, those are your molars. Just before that you have your premolars, you have your canines and you have your incisors. So this is my one jaw. Say this is my lower jaw. Okay. So 1/2 of the lower jaw has this type of arrangement. So what is the arrangement? So incisors, canines, premolars and molars, right? So this is the arrangement on 1/2 of one of my jaw. Okay. So just remember this. So now we have what is known as a dental formula. So for a 17-year-old, okay, so we will go for an adult. So I told you it is in this order, right? So incisors is 2, okay, canine is 1, premolar is 2 and molar is 3. So 2, 1, 2, 3 is for 1/2, okay. So I consider it for the next half. So 2, 1, 2, 3. So totally how many I have? Yes. So 8 and 8. So 8 and 8 is 16, right? So this is on one jaw, right? So I have 2 jaws. So that is 16 into 2. So totally I have 32 adult teeth. So adults have 32 teeth. Yes, Ranjan, you're absolutely right. So this is our formula. 2, 1, 2, 3. So what is 2? You should know it is in the order of incisors, canines, premolars and molars. Okay. So I hope you understood how I got 8. How I got 8 by 8. This is for the second half and this is 16 is for one jaw. We have 2 jaws. So that is why we have 32 permanent teeth. Okay. Fine. So now you know the order, right? So here child is given 2, 1, 0, 2. So canine is 2, incisors is 2, canine is 1. So premolars are not found in your child stage. They actually appear only once in your adult stage, right? And these are your molars. So thus a child has 20 teeth. So 2, 1, 0, 2 is what? 5. 2, 1, 0, 2 by 5. So this is 10. So 10 into the next jaw. So totally a child has only 20 teeth. So you can say this is the milk teeth. So 20 are milk teeth. So 32 minus 20. So it is 12. So 12 are your monophodont. Okay. Yes. Is it clear? So 17-year-old will not have the last molar developed. So this last molar is known as your wisdom tooth. Okay, so all of us have a slight pain when you're crossing the 17 to 18 years because your wisdom teeth begins to grow. Okay, yes. So 2, 1, 2, 2. For a 17-year-old, it is 2, 1, 2, 2. So this is incisors, this is canine, this is premolar and this is molar. So it is 2, 1, 2, 2. So what is 2, 1, 2, 2? So it is 7 by 7. So this is 14 into 2. So an adult, adult who's not yet 18 years will have 28 teeth. So NCERT में Yes, so please make a note of it. It is not there, but sometimes they might ask you, because it is wisely you have to calculate, because they have told you adult has 32 and the child will not have 1 molar and the premolars. So you should be able to calculate, and this is in your adult. Okay, so hard chewing surface of the teeth. So where you chew the surface on your teeth, that is when you open your mouth, you can see the surface of your teeth, right? So that is made up of a substance that is known as enamel, and that is the hardest substance. It helps in mastication of food. So mastication is chewing of food. All right, okay, fine. So your buccal cavity houses your teeth and your tongue. So we are done talking about the teeth. Now we are talking about the tongue. Okay, yes. So freely movable muscular organ, actually for child and adult it is there. Yes, in NCERT it's mentioned. Maybe for a 17-year-old it's not mentioned, but child should be there. So please read your NCERT once again. Okay. Yes, so tongue is a freely movable muscular organ. It is attached to the floor of the oral cavity by frenulum. So tongue is attached, is the only muscle that is attached only at one side. The other side it is free, right? So this side of the tongue is a free end, and the other side it is attached to the floor of the oral cavity by a connection known as frenulum. Okay. So the roof of the oral cavity is known as a palate, the one that is above your tongue. Yes, that roof is your palate, and the floor of the oral cavity, your tongue is attached by frenulum. The upper surface of the tongue has small projections called as papillae. So papillae houses your taste buds. Okay, yes, so this is your tongue. So this is how it is. This is the free end. So this side it is attached via frenulum to the floor of the oral cavity. The roof of the oral cavity is palate. On the surface of the tongue you have projections called as papillae. So these papillae have taste buds. Okay. Yes. Is this clear? So please remember this much so you don't have to confuse more. Okay. So this is more than enough for your tongue. Enamel is the hardest substance of the body. Yes, you're absolutely right. Okay, so your oral cavity is done. So now I am moving on to pharynx. So the mouth of the buccal cavity is further moved, or it's let, or it's followed by a short pharynx. So pharynx is a common passage for food as well as your air. So okay, so all that is there, but I'm not covering all that. So we will stick to your NCERT, because I will try to finish it a bit quicker so that we can discuss some questions in a few lectures. Okay. So pharynx is the common passage for food. It has both. It's a common passage for both food and air. So when it opens into food, it is your esophagus, and when it opens for air, it is your trachea. So this is your food pipe, and this is your windpipe, respectively. So cartilaginous flip known as epiglottis prevents the entry of food into the glottis. Okay. Yes, Sandhya Mohan, a very happy good evening. So thank you for joining my lecture today. So please do like, share and subscribe. So pharynx is my common passage for my food as well as my trachea, right? So if this is my pharynx, so it can open into my food pipe, it can open into my windpipe like this. So this is my pharynx. Okay. Suppose if this is my esophagus and this is my trachea, so till here both my food and my air has the same passage, so this is pharynx. So food will enter here, this is my esophagus or this is my food pipe, and my air or wind will enter my trachea, so this is my windpipe. Right? So your body has to ensure that food does not enter inside the trachea. Right? So if it enters inside, then it moves into the lungs, but this moves into the stomach, right? So there will be a or chaos, you can say. So you have an opening for this trachea. So this opening of the trachea is known as glottis. So this glottis is covered by a thin flap that is known as epiglottis. So what is a flap? Suppose I have a bottle cap, I open and close, I open and I close, right? So this is known as a flap. So the opening of the trachea is known as glottis. So I have a thin flap known as epiglottis, which prevents the entry of food into my windpipe. So otherwise, if food moves into your windpipe, you choke, right? So you cough. So all this happens and food tends to come out, right? So that is the main reason. So this is my windpipe. So the opening of my windpipe is glottis, and it is covered by a cartilaginous flap known as epiglottis, which prevents the entry of food. Okay, is this clear? Yes, Satya, very happy good evening. Thank you for watching my lecture. So please do like, share and subscribe. Yes, so glottis is the opening of trachea. So if you can see, this is the common passage for my food as well as for my air. Okay, so this is pharynx. So this should be much clear. So I have my trachea, I have my esophagus. So this part is my pharynx. So if you can see, this is epiglottis. So this prevents the entry of food inside my trachea. So this is my windpipe. So I have my epiglottis here. I have my food pipe here. Okay. So your pharynx is divided into nasopharynx, oropharynx and hypopharynx. It is a passage. So nasopharynx is the one which is connected to the nose. Oropharynx is connected to the mouth. Hypopharynx is the one that connects this passage. Okay, I hope you got it. So moving further, so now talking about your esophagus. So esophagus is a thin, long tube. So esophagus is also known as your food pipe. Okay, so this extends posteriorly towards your neck, your thorax and the diaphragm. You also have your neck, thorax and your diaphragm. Yes, your lungs also passes through, right? So there it is there, and it extends posteriorly just behind your windpipe so that it does not enter into the thorax or the diaphragm. So thorax, diaphragm are needed for your respiration, right? So this opens into a J-shaped bag that is known as your stomach. Okay. So the muscular splinter, you have a splinter that is gastroesophageal splinter. This regulates the opening. Suppose if there is an AC room, if it's an air conditioned room, they ensure that the door has a door closer, meaning the door automatically closes, right? So you don't have to wait to close the door. So if you push open the door comes back to its same place to rest, right? So that is fixed. So similarly, there is some opening like this which is known as a muscular splinter. So imagine this is my food pipe and it opens into a J-shaped stomach. Okay, so the food should not go back like this. So if it goes back in the reverse order, that means you're about to vomit, right? Okay, so here you have a closer which does not allow the backward movement. Okay, so this is known as your gastroesophageal splinter. This is a muscular splinter, just like a spring. It will not allow backward movement. It is present here. So this is your gastroesophageal splinter. It will open once and all the contents from your esophagus will move into your stomach, but all the contents from your stomach will not go back to your esophagus unless and until the vomit center in your medulla gives a signal. Okay? Yes? Fine. So this is about your esophagus. So now talking about your stomach. Your stomach is located in the upper left portion of your abdominal cavity. There is no digestion of food in esophagus. No, it is just a tube. It brings the contents from your mouth to your stomach. Okay, Shimpi? Yes? It shows muscular movement according to the movement of bolus. Yes, Vishal? Good. So it's located in the upper left portion of your abdominal cavity. Your stomach has 4 parts. The first part is cardiac, fundic, body, then you have pyloric. So this is your J-shaped bag, that is your stomach. Okay. So this has 4 parts. The first one is your cardiac, then you have fundus, then you have the main body, then you have pyloric. So I am not talking about how digestion is happening. I am just explaining the parts right now. Okay. So the food from your esophagus comes inside your stomach. So here I have my gastroesophageal splinter, right? So this opens, all the contents from my esophagus moves into the stomach. Okay, so when it comes directly to this portion. This is known as the cardiac portion. So this is my fundus and this is my main body where digestion can happen to some extent, and then you have the pyloric. So the first portion is considered as cardiac because the food immediately enters here, and the last portion is your pyloric. So pyloric, since being the last portion, it enters into the small intestine. Okay, this opens into the small intestine. Ma'am, can you tell me the digestion of starch, protein, carb? Yes, can you wait? So after the parts, we go into digestion of food. Yes, I know your doubt. So that will mostly come in the next chapter. Yes, so immediately on Thursday, we will talk about how digestion is happening. Okay, yes. Okay, so how vomiting happens? So vomiting is when you have the reverse movement of food from your stomach to your esophagus to your oral cavity, then your mouth, right? So you have a vomit center in your medulla which activates. When it activates, then your gastroesophageal splinter will allow the movement of the contents in the reverse direction. Okay, Ranjan? Yes? Fine. So these are the parts of your stomach. So I hope it's clear. So your cardiac is the first portion and pyloric is the last portion. So pyloric opens into the small intestine. So small intestine and large intestine. So your small intestine has three regions. It is C-shaped duodenum and long coiled middle jejunum and highly coiled ileum. So opening of the stomach into the duodenum is guarded by your pyloric splinter. I'm just checking if I have a blank slide. I don't have a blank slide. Okay, so our favorite black screen I will explain. Okay, so here large intestine, digestion of water. Yes, absolutely right. So here I explain the parts of the small intestine and the large intestine. So small intestine is, you can say C-shaped or you can also say U-shaped. Okay, so this has three parts. So the first part is your duodenum. The next one, so duodenum is C-shaped or U-shaped. The next one is coiled middle portion, that is jejunum. The third one is highly coiled and that is ileum. Okay, now you should be able to connect. So from my stomach, it opens into the small intestine. Yes, SI is small intestine. The first part of the small intestine is duodenum. The last part of my stomach is my pyloric or pylorus. Right? So here again I have a splinter. So here the splinter is my pyloric splinter. So here I have my food pipe or my esophagus which opens into my stomach. Right? So here I have gastroesophageal splinter. Here I have pyloric splinter. Okay, so from my small intestine, it moves into my large intestine. So in my large intestine, I again have three parts. Okay, so the three parts are cecum, colon, and finally rectum. Okay, so these are the three parts of my large intestine. So cecum is where your microorganisms are present. I hope all of you know our small intestine has a lot of microorganisms and these microorganisms help in our process of digestion. Yeah, so here you have microorganisms which are in symbiotic association, and from cecum arises your vermiform appendix. Okay, yes, so colon is of three parts. So if you have seen your large intestine is like this, right? Yes, so your cecum is here. So this is your cecum. Then you have this portion of this. These are your colons. Okay. So since it moves up, so this is known as your ascending colon. Since this moves straight, this is known as your transverse colon, and this is your descending colon. Finally, you have your sigmoidal colon, and then you have your rectum. And finally, rectum opens into anus. Is it clear to everyone? Yes. So, your food from the food pipe, it moves into the stomach, and here you have your gastroesophageal splinter. From the stomach, it moves into the small intestine. The first part of the small intestine is duodenum, second is jejunum, the third one is ileum. Okay? Yes. So, the last part of your stomach is pyloric. So, you have a pyloric splinter between your stomach and your small intestine. Okay? Now, from the small intestine, it moves into the large intestine. Your large intestine also has three parts: cecum, colon and rectum. Okay, so your cecum is where your microorganisms are present and which also houses your vermiform appendix. Then you have your colon. Your colon is of three parts. One is your ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon. You also have a small bit of sigmoidal colon, and finally it opens into the last part, that is rectum, and rectum opens into the anus. So if you understand, I have completed the entire pathway from the mouth to the anus. Is this clear to everyone? Yes? Yes, Shubham sir. Hello. So thank you for joining our session. So please do like, share and subscribe. Is this clear, everyone? Yes, the entire passage of your food from the mouth till the anus, I have completed the entire transversing path. Okay. So now I am moving. So, so this is what I have explained. Yes, appendix rises from cecum, and this is the structure. Okay? Yes. So here I move into the next part. So the four layers of alimentary canal. So from the mouth to the anus I have described. Now, so from the mouth to the anus, it is not a single layer. Your body has many layers, many tissues, many cells lining the layers, right? So the four layers of the wall of the alimentary canal. So now when I say the term alimentary canal, it should be pretty clear that it spans from the mouth to the anus, right? So this wall of the alimentary canal has four layers. What are the four layers? So alimentary canal includes from your mouth to your rectum. So here it says esophagus to rectum. You have four layers. What are the four layers? So you have serosa, muscularis, submucosa, and the last one is mucosa. So the wall, the entire wall of the alimentary canal, the entire passage from esophagus to rectum is surrounded by four layers: serosa, muscularis, submucosa and mucosa. Okay, so serosa is the outermost. It is made up of thin mesothelium. So mesothelium is the form of epithelium cells on the outer layer. Okay, so muscularis has smooth muscles on the inner cell and outer longitudinal layer. The second layer, so outermost is serosa, inner to that you have muscularis. So muscularis is arranged in two forms. It is in the form of smooth muscles on the inner side and longitudinal muscles on the outer side. Okay, so submucosal is the third layer. It has loose connective tissues. It includes your nerves, your blood and the lymph vessels, and it has glands in the duodenum. So this has loose connective tissue. The last one is your mucosa. It has irregular folds in the stomach and finger-like foldings, that is villi in the small intestine. So please don't get confused. So these are the four layers. So the outermost layer is serosa. So this has thin mesothelium. Okay. So then you have muscularis layer. So if you look at the muscularis layer, on the inner side it is circular and on the outer side it is longitudinal. Okay. So this is inner side, this is circular. The outer side it is longitudinal. Okay. The third one is your submucosal layer. It has loose connective tissue through which you have your nerves, your blood and your lymph vessels. Here you also have glands of the duodenum. So duodenum is present in your small intestine, right? So this small intestine also has the 4 layers. So in these 4 layers, in the submucosal layer, your duodenum houses glands, okay? Then you have mucosa. Your mucosa has irregular folds in the stomach and small finger-like projections known as villi in the small intestine. So the irregular folds in the stomach is known as rugae. And the folds in the small intestine is known as villi. So this villi in your small intestine has microscopic projections, thus it is known as microvilli. So for all those who have not understood, so here I give a quick explanation. So we have 4 layers of the alimentary canal. The outermost is your serosa. This is the outermost. Okay. So what is this made up of? It is made up of thin mesothelium. Right. Then you have your muscularis. So this is the innermost next to your serosa. It is innermost. So it is arranged in 2 formats. In the inner side, it is circular. On the outer side, it is longitudinal. Clear? So then you have submucosa. So submucosa is made up of loose connective tissue. So this has blood, nerves and lymph vessels or lymph flowing through. Okay. So the duodenum of the small intestine has glands in this layer. So if I draw duodenum in C shape or U shape, so this also has these 4 layers and it has glands in the submucosal layer. The innermost is your mucosal gland. So this is the innermost. So this has foldings in your stomach which is known as rugae, and this also has foldings in the small intestine which is your villi. So since this villi has microscopic projections, so this is known to have your microscopic or microvilli. So microvilli is present in your intestine. So this is the first layer, the second, the third and the fourth. This is the innermost. Clear everyone? Yes? Yes, we are going to talk about lacteal. Hold on. I hope this much is clear. So I am moving forward. Yes, so we are talking in detail about the foldings in your small intestine, that is villi. So it has a brush border appearance. Yes, so it looks like a brush, right? So if you just sway through, it will also sway along. So this is the brush border appearance. So why is this present? Because this increases the surface area enormously. So villi are supplied with a network of capillaries and a large lymph vessel which is known as your lacteal. So lacteal is the lymph vessel that is present in your villi in the small intestine. Yes, Ranjan, here is the answer to your question. So lacteal is a large lymph vessel that is present in the microvilli of your small intestine. Okay, so mucosal epithelium has goblet cells which secrete mucus that help in lubrication. So your villi is located in the mucosal layer of your alimentary canal. So this has a particular type of cell known as goblet cells. So remember Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So goblet cells which secretes mucus. So mucus helps in the movement of food. Okay. So mucosa has glands of the stomach, that is gastric glands. So glands of the small intestine, that is duodenum, are present in the submucosa, whereas glands of the stomach are present in the mucosal layer which is known as gastric glands. You have crypts in between the bases of the intestine. Between the villi of the intestine, they are known as crypts of Lieberquim. If you can see, this is one villi, this is another villi. In between, you have a small valley or a passage like. So this is known as crypts of Lieberquim. So once again, so villi is present in the innermost layer of the alimentary canal wall, that is your mucosa. right? So this mucosa houses your foldings, that is your villi, and it is present in your small intestine. Since it has microscopic projections, this is known as microvilli. It has brush border appearance. What is the use? It increases the surface area enormously. They are supplied with a network of capillary of blood vessels and a lymph vessel, which is your lacteal. Okay. So this mucosal layer also secretes goblet cells, which secretes mucus. Mucus helps in lubrication. So lubrication is movement. So your food has to move, right? So if only there is some fluid, okay, so it can move. So your mucosa has glands for the stomach, that is your gastric glands. So you have crypts in between the bases of the villi in your intestine, that is your crypts of Lieberkühn. Is this clear? Yes? Yes, in second lecture I will finish the chapter. Third lecture we will discuss the questions. Okay, I will try to finish it as quick as possible. Okay, done? So is this clear? Whatever I taught is clear for everyone? So I have only one question. So let's see if you can answer this question. So this question has appeared in NEET 2017. Which cells of the crypts of Lieberkühn secrete antibacterial lysozyme? Yes? So any idea? So I told you what is crypts of Lieberkühn. It is present in your small intestine. Yes, it is present in the villi. So this is present in the villi of your small intestine. Yes. So the function of the crypts of Lieberkühn is to secrete antibacterial enzyme, the enzyme which can kill bacteria. That is why it is antibacterial enzyme. Yes, it is Paneth cells. Very good. So Kupffer cells are macrophagic cells or immune cells in the liver. Okay. So zymogen cells which secrete inactive enzymes. So Argaften cells secrete mucus for lubrication. Okay, yes, so the right answer is Paneth cells. Okay, so this is your crypts of Lieberkühn, you can see, and this has Paneth cells, this has some stem cells also. So stem cells are the one which is capable of regenerating into a new cell. Right? So these are ancestor cells or totipotent cells which has the ability to differentiate into any type of cell. No, Kupffer cells are found in liver. Crypts of Lieberkühn are found in intestine. So the right answer is Paneth cells. So crypts of Lieberkühn has cells known as Paneth cells. Okay? Ranjan, the answer is option D, not C. Okay. So I will continue with the digestive glands in the next lecture. So I will stop right here. So please don't forget to join my lecture, or sorry, join my mentee at 6:30 p.m. So 6:30 p.m. I will meet you with guess the chapter. So please revise all the chapters. So try to guess the chapter as well. So it has only 20 questions, so 20 seconds each. So the standard time. The questions are not tough. The questions are pretty easy. Your mentee is ready. So I have already prepared it. So I am waiting to meet you at 6:30 p.m. for my mentee. So I hope you liked my teaching. If you genuinely like my way of teaching, so please do like, share and subscribe. So this is me wishing you more and most. So thank you for making this lecture very interesting. So I will see you at 6:30 p.m. So bye until then.